Heading back to the house to start off another week. This week we're hoping to get our rough inspections completed. In between that, we're just doing some odds and ends. If you were watching our live video yesterday, I think it was, you would have saw a weird little storage space that we've never mentioned before. So this week I'm going to fix the insulation and vapor barrier in there. Hopefully by the end of the week we are able to get everything boarded up, get our drywall on, and start moving towards finishing. So make sure you watch to the end of the video and see how far we get this week. As we're waiting for inspections, one of the things I'm doing is I'm going room by room, putting in backing, so I have something solid to screw brackets into or screw the vanities to, just to make sure they're solid and don't move at all. I'm just in one of the bathrooms here. You can see I've got some blocking for both corners of the vanity, something nice and solid there. I know we're gonna have a towel bar probably right around this area, so I'll get some blocking cut and put some blocking up in there, and then what I'll do is I'll actually take some measurements, write it on the blocking, and then take a picture of it with my phone, just so I don't have to remember. Then I have a reference for how high I put that blocking. As I'm walking around, I'm also looking for little screw holes in the existing drywall. So with those, I'm just using the back end of my X-Acto knife or the butt end of the screwdriver just to kind of round the hole out, so it's going to hold mud easier and make it easier to patch. The other thing I'm doing, I'm marking out on the floor and on the ceiling where the studs are. That way when I'm putting up my drywall boards on the new ceilings and new walls, I have a reference point as to where the studs are. So if you're holding a sheet of drywall up and trying to screw it at the same time, it just makes life a lot easier because you know exactly where to aim. So that is our blocking for our towel bar, but I don't know if Heather's actually picked any of these accessories. So I have some spare lumber, so I cut a few extra pieces. I'm gonna put some up for robe hooks just in case she picks those instead of a towel bar. For the backing for the towel bar, I have the top of my blocking at 48 inches off the floor. For the robe hooks, I'm gonna center my backing on 60 inches. That way we're set either way. Whatever Heather picks, we're ready for it. Okay, now that we're done with the backing on this floor, I'm going to continue going down to the next floor, and eventually we'll end up down in the mudroom. By then, Heather should be here and I can ask her about her shelf brackets for the mudroom, and I'll get the backing in for that.
Over it.
Just getting blocking in for the shelf over the washer dryer.
Okay.
And also maybe we should talk about putting blocking in for the coat hook. And now we'll just confirm the height of the shelf itself.
Okay.
So then I know where to put those for the brackets. So am I just putting one on each end and one in the center?
Yes.
Or is there four?
No, there's only going to be 3, I think, right? Because that will be enough for the span, especially if we have the blocking in.
Yeah, so the span's about 5 feet. So yeah, I think if we have one bracket on each corner, on each end, and then yeah, one in the center.
Okay, great. Okay, so I wanted to have that rod, the coat hangers above. Let's do 14 inches for the shelf, and the shelf is 1.5 inches. Okay, so that's the final location for our blocking.
So that's our blocking height. I'm going to change that one out, just so we're not screwing shelf brackets into a knot.
Ooh, okay.
That'll make it a lot more challenging to screw it in.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, good tip.
My other question for you is just for the coat hooks. I'm just wondering the hooks. We kind of marked it out roughly.
I mean, I'm kind of thinking there. Do you want to like hold up a jacket or something and make
might-
sure that that's
right?
my bench height? Yeah, exactly.
So that's pretty much accurate.
Yeah, so you're just gonna do like another board across here?
I'm just going to put blocks all the way across,
Okay.
just because we haven't bought the hooks yet, or we haven't made that board yet. So whatever length we decide to make it, then we're going to hit the backing.
Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Well, I'm gonna let you carry on with blocking. I'm going to grab the tile samples that I picked up last week,
Yep.
And I'm going to see what I can find for tile to coordinate with that today.
Oh, awesome. Okay, can't wait to see it.
If you've been watching our previous videos, you know that I got the most beautiful marble mosaic to use in the house. If you watched last week's video, you know that I picked up a bunch more from Home Depot, but I'm here today. I'm going to grab a couple pieces of it because I don't have it in my budget to use all marble mosaic in the showers. So I need to figure out how I can use a little bit of the marble mosaic to get the luxurious look and feel and coordinate it with something more cost effective. So I'm just gonna hunt down those samples wherever Chris has them hiding, and then we'll go shopping for tile. I am here at the trade showroom that I use in my city to source tile for my client projects. They have all kinds of great things. They make it really easy to shop and pick beautiful things. So if you're working with an interior designer, maybe just check in with them to see if they use any showrooms as well. So I have our beautiful mosaic. I'm so in love with the stone. I can't believe that was such a great score that we found. And I've spotted these beautiful like Zellige look tiles. They're so beautiful. They do have real Zellige here, which I totally love, but is definitely not in our budget. So we're going to be looking at these ones because we did the acrylic shower base, and Chris and I are going to do a whole video about why we chose that acrylic shower base. I don't want to do anything that's like a darker contrast to the white shower pan. I want to do something that is still in these white tones just so that that white shower pan doesn't like scream out. I'm also really loving these ones. They're sort of a matte finish, which I feel like is something sort of new. We've seen a lot of that Zellige with the shiny finish, which is beautiful, but I just feel like the matte feels a little fresh and I really like it with the marble. These ones I think are super pretty. They're in that matte finish that I really like. They have what's called a pillowed edge. So the edges of the tile are sort of curved. And when it's installed, the edges come together in this really beautiful way. I think that that is a really gorgeous color with the marble, but I think actually it might be a little too green for what I want to do. There are so many interesting things in this showroom. I found another sort of Zellige look finished tile here, which is really pretty. I'm gonna have to pull that one off the wall. This one has a beautiful handmade texture. Gorgeous with our marble, a little bit of a warmer texture finish. The only thing is, comes in 4.5 by 4.5 only. There's this bathroom that I've come across on the internet that has this really beautiful tile inlay. For the lower bathroom where I want to use the straight set marble, the idea that I have for that room is with a subway tile. So I'm gonna go see what I can find. I'm liking the matte finish, kind of white subway tile. I found two other gorgeous subways in the matte. This one is beautiful. It doesn't have as much of that Zellige feel of a sort of aged texture on the face of the tile, but it has this beautiful natural finish to the edge, which I love. Once that's installed, that will give the bathroom a really great character. And I found this one, which is very similar, but what I like about it is that the tiles are a little bit longer. They're 3 by 12 as opposed to 3 by 6. So that will make install go a lot faster and a lot easier. Plus, I like the spacing with my idea of doing the rows of the mosaic in between the standing rows of the subway tile. Just having fewer of those rows will make everything feel a little bit more contemporary. And here is the other one that has all of that really beautiful Zellige texture to it. I think it also has a square. So in one bathroom, I could do the beautiful subway, and in the other bathroom, I could do the square, which I really like. I don't want the bathrooms to be too dissimilar and sort of disconnected throughout the house, but I do like them feeling sort of unique. So changing up the size would help me do that. So they're so sweet here. They heard me saying I wanted the matte with the Zellige, and they just went and got me the samples of that other one that I showed you that was the matte that also comes in the subway size, and it comes in the square. So I've got a pile of samples to take back and play with before I decide what I'm going to do. I thought that I had the perfect tile, but I can't resist. I'm such a deal hunter that I am just going to pull into Home Depot because I was so caught up with the mosaic that I never spent a lot of time to look and see if they had any beautiful tile to go with the mosaic. So before I settle on those beautiful ones that I found at the wholesalers that are probably going to be about $12 a square foot, I'm going to see if I can find something that's a little more cost effective at Home Depot. Stay tuned. I'm gonna try not to get distracted by all the pretty spring flowers that we do not get to enjoy because it's still winter in Calgary. We are in the tile aisle. Let's see what we can find. They have like a nice basic white subway, but I would like something with a little more of that Zellige character. There's that one up there, the 4x12 heirloom white. We're going to be able to pull one out. And this guy is $5.49 a square foot. So like nearly a third of what the other ones are. I'm loving this texture, but I did want to be able to do that mix and match thing. And this only comes in the one size. So super pretty is that 3x12 white gloss ceramic. So here is that one. Oh my goodness, and this one is only $3.92 a square foot. Let's see how they look. With the marble, they do absolutely both work. I think that this one, it's impossible to see in this terrible Home Depot light, but it's got like a gorgeous gray handmade texture. Okay, there's one more here that I spotted. That bevel one. I just love how when the tiles come together, they make that pattern. Basically what I'm after is something that's just a little bit more interesting than a subway tile. So the Zellige look that I picked up at the wholesalers definitely has that flavor. This bevel can also get that for me. So I'm going to find them. I think that's it there. And the size is great too. It's really nice. I think, you know what? I don't even think I need to take a sample. I feel like it's going to go to a slightly different place. I definitely want more of this organic feeling. So I'm going to take 2 of these ones. I'm going to take 2 of the plainer white ones, and we will compare them to the ones I just picked up and see how it all looks at the site. No, I could not resist the fresh flowers, even though we got fresh snow last night.
If you were watching our live video the other day, you'll know about our forgotten storage room that we've never told you about, but we're headed up to the top floor of the house. This is one of the closets at the top of the stairs. Master bedroom's right beside us. This is our access into that forgotten storage room. So I'll try and take you on a better tour and show you what we're going to work on today. This is the storage room we're going to be working on, and the reason we're going to be fixing it up is, I can show you here, if you look, the vapor barrier isn't sealed properly anywhere. You can see, similar to the bathroom, we have all this black insulation. Here we're not seeing mold or anything on the lumber, so if we were seeing mold there, then we'd assume there'd be a water leak from the roof above. But because there's no mold growth or black on the framing lumber, it's just on the insulation, most likely it's an air leak again. So we're going to have hot air from this space moving in to that roof space because it's not sealed properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut some polystyrene foam board, which has a vapor barrier attached to it. So we're going to seal off these wall cavities. That'll give us something to seal our vapor barrier to and make sure it's airtight through all the spaces. So we're going to pull down all this old vapor barrier and we're going to upgrade it to 6mm vapor barrier. We'll replace any of that kind of ugly looking insulation as well, and then we'll get our new vapor barrier stapled and taped up to it. So for stapling it up, I'm actually going to use my pneumatic stapler. It's a little bit smaller than a hammer tacker, Hammer tackers are pretty awkward because you need room to swing, which we won't have in here. And generally, hammer tackers jam up, so I'll use my pneumatic one, and should make things a little bit easier in these tight spaces. Okay, we've got our vapor barrier out. It's really hard to film in here because it's so cramped and the light sucks, but I've pre-cut some of our polystyrene insulation. That's the depth of our 2x4 wall. I also cut some lengths for the ceiling as well to seal up a couple areas. And now I'm just going to cut them to the width of the joist cavities, and we'll get those put in place. We're probably going to have a few little gaps because you can't cut these perfectly, so I'll seal up any minor gaps with some spray foam, and then we'll be ready to finish putting up our new vapor barrier. So now we can get our vapor barrier rolled out and installed. Then we can add our acoustic sealant just to seal it along the bottom plates of the walls. I'll probably leave the vapor barrier along and then add that afterwards just because it's a little tidier that way. Okay, we are all sealed up. We have our tuck tape on, vapor barrier in, and all the way down to the bottom it's continuous. And you can see along the bottom edges, we've got the acoustic seal to seal it up and make sure we are airtight.
I am back at the house after my shopping adventure, and I have all of the beautiful tiles that I have narrowed things down to here on the ground. This is going to be a tough decision. Chris is working away in the basement. I'm gonna go grab him and we'll see what he thinks about my choices. I want you to come look at my tile that I picked. I've got it all laid out upstairs.
Give me your opinion first.
Okay.
So I had to put a bulkhead around this heating, and there's water lines and venting on this side.
Yeah.
I was doing it square, but I just cut these pieces.
Okay.
What do you think about it's sloping down
I think
instead of being square?
so much nicer. Yeah. Oh, I think that will be so beautiful. So it will like almost follow the line of the stairs.
Yeah, you have the stairs above as well, sloping. So
Yeah. I like that way more. Like a gentle slope is way less offensive than like thing that's hitting you in the head.
big square corner.
Okay, I love it. Great idea.
Okay, I'll put them up.
Okay, but you're gonna come up and look at my tile first.
Yes.
I have them all laid out here on the floor in the sun in the pretty bright little dining room.
Okay, so what did you find?
I was thinking that we should go with like lighter tiles because we have that white shower base.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I'm not going to tell you which is which because some of these are a bargain and some of these are not. I think I mentioned to you before that the bathroom with the tub in it, I want to do this stacked marble.
Okay, so vertical, not horizontal.
I'm not sure yet. I have to like play with the design, but I want to do this pattern in that bathroom.
Okay.
And then I'm thinking the herringbone tile for the bigger sort of main primary suite. So I'm not exactly sure again where I'm going to be placing that, but you had the idea of using the same luxury vinyl plank flooring all the way into the bathrooms.
So that was my idea?
Yeah. That was your idea.
What was my reason? I think it was to have one continuous floor because you're going from your bedroom and your closet.
Yeah.
It just kind of flows. It's all one floor.
And then because this floor is thinner, we don't have to worry about transitions. I love it. I want to keep everything like really calm and subtle in the design of this space, and definitely love that we're just going to have this one consistent material through the bedrooms, straight into the bathroom. The only thing now to decide is which of the subway tiles we like the most with the hardwood and the marble. This one only comes as we see it. So if we use that one, then it has to be in both of the bathrooms.
Okay.
This one, same. It only comes as we see it. So if we like it, we have to use it in both of the bathrooms. These two come in the subway shape that I have, but they also come in a square shape. And I was thinking of using square shape maybe in one bathroom and subway in the other bathroom.
I think I actually like these ones.
Those ones are beautiful.
I like the texture. They're not flat. I think that makes it a little bit interesting.
The color is nice too, but maybe a bit gray. I was hoping to do something kind of warmer. This one's really nice because it's got the texture, but it's matte. It's not shiny, which I think is interesting. And what's nice about this one is that when you get a few of them together, there's like a ton of color variation in them, which is nice. So they have like some of the warmer tones, some of the cooler tones.
So kind of more similar to the variation of the marble.
Editing Heather here. I thought it would be kind of fun if we gave you guys all a chance to weigh in on your favorite. So take a pick from option A, B, C, or D and let us know in the comments below what tile you would use if it was your bathroom. Maybe we should pick like a top two. Maybe pick favorite from here so I can look at mixing up the sizes. And then maybe I'll try a run with that. Okay, because I'll let you know in on the secret. So that one is Home Depot.
Okay.
And these ones are from the tile wholesalers. So I want to say like $6 a square foot and closer to 14.
This was my number one.
Okay.
Which you just said, that's the Home Depot one?
Yeah, that's the Home Depot one.
Okay. And then I think this was my second.
I think this is my second too. I was really loving the matte, but the gloss is gorgeous.
I think that definitely those are my two favorites.
Okay, so now that we have it narrowed down to a two, I'm going to do a couple of tile layout designs and just see what sort of pattern options I can come up with the two that we've narrowed it down to. In a couple weeks, probably not next week, because Chris, next week we're thinking about doing a how much we've spent so far.
Yeah, I think we're going to catch up on our budget and let everyone know kind of where we're at.
Because Caitlin, we saw your comment, so we're definitely hearing you and we're going to make that video that you asked for. And there's a ton of boxes in the basement. You've just been loading in a million more. So we're gonna do some fun unboxings. Probably not next week, but maybe the week after that, I'm going to finalize the bathroom design, including paint colors, and share all of that with you. I have a really cool IKEA hack that I'm planning to do for these bathrooms, so stay tuned for that.